Listen. Time ticking, life happens, existing. True happiness is living, I'm on the path to that is rigid. Running up the stats, but we don't ever fall statistic. Went to college, major business, graduate.
And so boom, how everything going with you, bro?
Shit, man, chilling. Trying to get through school. It's a big thing for real. Schoolwork.
How's that going?
School?
With school and music and all that, everything else in between.
School. We probably about halfway, so just trying to stay on top of that, stay on top of the work, just get that out the way as quick as I can. Music, you already know we just dropped the project, but this year is looking pretty promising. I'll say that. Pretty promising.
So, bro, my first question for you before we even get into this, you know what I'm gonna do it my old school way, man, because I ain't did this in a while, and every time I do first question to everybody, I gotta come up with a new one. Now, you know, we got Goodfellas out on all platforms, but Still Up is also out. So, you know, we living in this crazy historic time nonetheless to say. So what you been doing to stay? What's keeping you up? Motivated?
My bad.
Yeah, bro.
I gotta go. Change the spot. But to answer your question, a couple of things. First thing, I had to change my diet. And the reason I say diet, your diet, you are what you eat also. You eat, you gonna act, perform, be like junk. So I had to literally rethink the way I eat, and I had to start there. And then the next thing I would definitely say, I've been meditating a lot.
Yeah.
I mean to say that. But.
Yeah, bro. Ask you about you say the diet. So what's some of your go-to things I guess you're still going to, with that.
As far as the diet?
Yeah.
Definitely sea moss.
Yeah.
Started adding that. I switched over to alkaline water. Started eating a lot of fruits, vegetables. A lot of the obvious stuff, just doing it. Just staying disciplined and just doing it, carrying it out, you know.
So you strictly drinking alkaline water?
Yeah, I'm strictly on water. I've been on water for 2 years now?
Jeez. That's all right.
Yeah. It's more discipline than anything.
Yeah.
Anything is.
That's all you want to have, though.
Honestly. Yeah. Definitely.
All that being said, man, we got this crazy project, Goodfellas. So I want to ask, I'm trying to think to myself too. Do you remember the first time that we came up with the idea to do a project?
A project, I want to say it was sometime last year.
Yeah,
but we had already worked on singles here and there, so I knew a project was coming. I just didn't know when.
Yeah, that was always my plan. I don't know if I ever told you that, but literally, we did Burden Boy. I said, me and Raashad, we gonna double up, do one. Then me and Versace gonna do one, and then we gonna bring it all right back to the forefront.
Definitely.
But
definitely.
It was. I remember when the pandemic had first hit. I remember kind of just plotting everything out. Excuse me, I felt like I was going to do. So I remember I said I was going to do a SoundCloud project. That was something I thought about. I knew I was going to do Still Up, and I knew I was going to do something with you, but I didn't know what it was going to be. So I was working on projects at the same time, because that's around the same time I did 1,000 Presidents 2. That was the first song I did for this project. And
right.
The little songs I still got on my laptop that they came out. But it transformed a whole lot from what I initially thought it was gonna be. You remember I said let's make it 7, 8 songs.
Right.
That was the beginning I said I wasn't gonna do no features, and then it turned out to be like the most people I probably worked with that I had never worked with before and stuff like that.
On this project?
No, definitely, it's the first time I worked with a lot of people, bro. Cause usually I just like I stay inside my circle kind of, but now
Right.
I'm trying to network with people and do different things, and that's how it came about. You remember when it was called No Mercy, or did you know that?
I do actually.
That
You
was
talking about the project itself, right?
huh?
You talking about the project itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. That was a good little minute ago, actually.
Yeah, that's when I was working on like everything. That's probably
Yeah,
last April.
good little minute.
Oh, I remember the first I ever did was the name jump.
Right.
That's when you had put the beat tape out.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
which one?
I don't remember the name of the beat tape. I know it was on Bandcamp. I don't even remember how I don't know if you sent it to me, if I just saw it or what, but I remember I listened to it and when I heard that beat, I was like, bro, I gotta use this. And I had hit you up about it. This was like 2018.
Oh, I don't know.
It was the name jump. It's on YouTube, SoundCloud, Bandcamp.
Oh
I
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
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 And then after that, shortly after that, you had can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, bet my joint was tweaking. But I remember you had text me. You was just like, yo, we on the same type of time, so let's keep everything going. So I was
Right.
like, at that point I already knew. I'm like, yo, I gotta start expanding. That's my music won't on all platforms then either. So I was like, man, producers that I'm working with, it's just we got the dream team. That's how I looked at it.
At the time, yeah. I mean, it's still like that now. Like,
Yeah,
still like that now. Everybody working, everybody still like
man,
that now.
Burden Boy, you know what I'm saying? What you had 7 or 8 on that
Yeah.
thing. Did you go to Spain before or after that drop?
I went to Spain. That was after.
You remember how long you was there from like when to when?
I came back in the summer last year. I left. So I left in the summer of 19, and I came back in the summer of 20.
I think you left like right after Burden Boy dropped. It seemed like
Yeah.
had you if it's still summer because that came out September.
Actually, as soon as school ended, I left.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
But when you was in Spain, dog, it ain't. I swear, and I tell this to a lot of people. I'm like, yo, Versace was in Spain sending me beats, bro, and talking to me like every single week, like you all the way over there. So I started to hold people that's in my main circle to different standards after that. You feel me,
Yeah. I don't
man?
even honestly making them over there. It was different. I don't know if you could tell, like in the beat, how I don't know. The process over there was definitely different from here. I definitely had more time here than there,
Yeah.
but
Elaborate on that a little bit. That's dope for me to hear. I'm like a music nerd, so I gotta know.
uh, so a normal day over there. Wake up at 6, work 6 to about 3, 4, maybe 5 some days. And then from there, just free time, do what you want, repeat the cycle. But in between, you got to eat and
Yeah.
do all that other stuff. So I would say I probably had maybe a good hour or two to myself. So I
Peace.
just had to make the most every day. And there was some days I really couldn't do anything. Just
So in that time, how many you think you was making on a good day?
good day.
Cause that's like limited time, man. That's super limited time. So that definitely, whew, I can't even.
Probably 2 for me because I don't know, it takes me a lot longer, but I'm more of a substance over, what I'm saying, number. Like I want you to get the product versus getting a lot of nothing. So I was focusing more on making something versus making a lot of nothing, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
most
Yeah.
definitely. So fast forward, everything when we got to the point where we started talking album, we started talking project.
Right.
Man, how did them beats that you sent me, like beats you had for a while? Because I remember the first like pack you sent me was
Oh
deep,
yeah.
was super, and it was like 3, 4 packs. I don't know how many you sent me in total, but man,
Man, it's so. All right, so originally I had planned to do like a mafia style project, and then you brought it up, and I was like, bro, I got this whole folder with nothing but this stuff I plan on doing. You might as well just use it. And then that just happened. And then I
how,
was working on new stuff as well, so I was just like, you know what? Let me just give this to him.
how long you think you had that folder?
5 years.
You said how long?
5 years. I know for a fact because some of those were some of the first beats I made. 5 years.
So you telling me the beats I'm writing
I'm so serious.
is 5 years old?
5 years at least, yeah. 5 years.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought they were like 1 to 2, if that, maybe 6 months. I thought that's what you was gonna say. 5 years? Jeez.
Now, as time progressed, I started sending you like some of the later stuff. My bad, I gotta grab my charger. My phone about to die. But no, as time progressed, I started sending you some of the later stuff. Well, I think I said that in a text, but
Yeah, because like I said, it was maybe 3, 4 packs I got, bro. It was insane. I remember when you sent the first one. That's when I was on Amazon, and I was riding home after I got off work, man. And I listened to the joint on the way home, and I was just like, oh, I can't put up with these. I gotta really have time to sit down and think about what I'm gonna say on this, bro. 'Cause it's different. It's different. Wait, every producer style, but with yours, it's just like I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? I can't figure out what to call it.
as far as style, um, honestly, I don't really say I have a defined style right now. I don't even know where I'm headed right now. I'm just literally just following the process, the journey. Wherever it takes me, it takes me. You know, I pick up a few elements here and there from producers that inspire me, obviously, but I wouldn't say I honestly don't know. I
Man,
couldn't.
it's one beat though I gotta ask you about. The stepping on Versace beat to me was like one of the craziest beats I ever heard in my life, bro. Just because, like, it's so untraditional. You know, I love anything that's like not the norm. So usually you'll have to, as a rapper, the beat kind of fits you. So I felt like for me, I had to fit this beat perfectly because it was already like all chopped up, and I was like, yo, I've never heard nothing like this. How do I rap on this? You know what I'm saying? It was that out of
Um, Wait. So the question was, how did I make it?
yeah. Like, what was your thought process during that? What made you just like chop up and go crazy like that?
At that time, West Side Gun. I don't know if you're familiar with West Side Gun.
Yeah, you know Griselda. That's my wave right there.
Yeah. But
That,
at that
that's
time, I
I,
just want to say, go ahead.
I was saying that's one of my idols right there for sure.
Right. But actually, around that time, that's when I want to say that's when they first dropped, or that's when they first they were first mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a song, I can't remember what song, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to make something like it, but I'm about to just go crazy. And then I made it. The next day I came back and I was like, I'm just about to add a bunch of stuff to it and just leave it. I just left it like that. It's crazy though. I didn't like that beat after I made it.
Why not?
I typically don't like any of my stuff after I make it. I don't know why. It's just
Oh, you
weird.
that do some stuff, man. That's all y'all be on, bro. Y'all be on that.
I think
So,
that's a producer mindset, but now go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. What was I gonna ask you? What was your like? As we started, I guess, developing it, you started getting songs back. What was your like initial thoughts?
Um, what was the first song you sent? Technically, the first song you sent.
Dude, that's before we even knew though.
Well, as I was getting the songs back, I kind of felt a project was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what the first song was, but
Presidents. Either Presidents, APB.
Presidents too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's what I did in February last year.
Yep. When I got that, I sort of knew like, all right, something's up, like something's gonna go down, but I didn't know what. But initially, I was like, something's gonna go down, and then I sort of figured I was gonna have to follow this up. So I'm in Spain. Thinking about this, like, dang, I'm gonna have to follow this up, and I don't even have the time. It just happened.
Yeah, man. It seemed like maybe from like that December to January though, like when we really started to, when I had time to really lock in and think, I think we hit a little stride then, man. And then we started to know that we had something that was just different because the concept changed like at least 3 times from what I originally was saying that it was going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that part of the planning process phase.
I don't know if you remember, because I was telling the homie the other day, I did Element 3 different times.
Like wrote it or recorded it 3 different times?
Like I added stuff to it. So like when I first sent you that joint, I don't even know if I sent it to you when I first did it. I first sent it to you, it was probably just the first verse. It ended at the first 1,000. That's all it was. And maybe I put the stuff at the end there. Then I went back, put the little ad-libs and like it's a little background track on the first verse. And this was like months apart. I went back in and did the little mid-verse thing right there with the you know, starting to feel like Birdman, all that. And then
I ain't gonna lie, that's my favorite part.
December or January, maybe January is when I added that last verse. So I did that. That song probably took me 6-7 months to get it to where I was like, yo, because I was leaving and I'm like, it's too much beat. I don't want to keep saying the same thing. How can I flip it? So each time I went in and it's different me almost every time. You know what I'm saying? Using a different flow to try to make it the most out of here intro that people ever heard. You know what I mean?
Right. And I can definitely say after hearing it, especially the amount of times I've heard it, I can definitely say I can tell the different approaches you took to it. Like I could pick them out. So that was definitely
it's 3 different.
Definitely a compliment to the beat, man. Definitely a compliment to the beat.
And even stepping on Versace, that's like, to me, that song is like a science experiment in itself. Cause I recorded that song so many times, bro. So many times to try to like, I wanted to get the voice right for it. And I was just like, dog, I had one version. I probably had sent you that version. I was like, yo, okay, this is the one. And then a couple months later, I was like, bro, I just re-recorded the whole thing. Because I sat with it for too long, and I was like, yo, I can do it better.
I mean, honestly, a lot of the times, I think being in Spain kind of threw me off the process as far as hearing what was about to be made, I guess.
Yeah.
But definitely in December,
that's when I made the most after I quit my job.
Yeah. After you quit your job?
That's when I made the most stuff. I was newly inspired. You feel me?
That's ironic.
But
look, I think you texted me that day too.
You said what?
Raashad in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap him in real quick just cause I don't know, how much time he got. Mike, I'm gonna get to you, bro. I'm about to call Aundre up and we're gonna talk about that. And, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get you back up here because I ain't done asking you a million questions either, you feel me?
I bet.
Yes, sir.
What the world going on just now, bro?
Look, I was laughing because I was like, I wish I could help y'all out, but I don't know how to do the joint either.
No, but if I hit X, that would take my pinned comment off. I was like, what's going on?
That joint weird. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just X out and come back into the live when me and you finish.
Yeah, that's what I told Versace to do. What time you got? Cause you know me, man. You know when me and you we talk, it might go.
I just got out of a Teams meeting, bro. So I'm about to touch this clock and then we good. I'm sending emails while we talking, so I'm good to go, bro.
So listen,
yes, sir.
For anybody that don't know, I got to get this man the introduction. This is my Mr. Aundre Raashad, man. Look,
Yes, sir. I seen Versace in the comments.
me and you, bro, I think, and it's crazy. I was breaking one of my boys like to ask me questions about the project, and I like to talk about the project. So I was like, yeah, I had seen bro on Facebook one day, and I just sent him a friend request.
Oh,
You know,
word.
that's what the story is. You feel me?
Yeah, thanks.
But before that, you know, RJ Banks, I don't know what your project came out. What, April, May, March?
Which one? My first one?
Yeah, most recent jump.
Yeah,
But
last May.
okay, so boom, last May, RJ had sent me the project. He was like, man, I could hear y'all working together, whatever, whatever. I listened to it, and I'm like, man, he's right. And for some reason, I never had like hit you up. And then I think he shared your post on Facebook, and I was like, man, this the dude he was telling me I should have worked with.
Yeah. Cause he had if I'm not mistaken, it was right before I got into my little spat with Apple Music. RJ had hit me up and was like, yo, I need you to work with my boy Marcus. And you know, and we all in Norfolk State. I'm talking like I know you. I'm like, Marcus from Norfolk State. You're like, yeah, Marcus from Norfolk State. I'm like, oh, okay. But I know it's a whole different Marcus I was thinking about.
For sure.
But when I heard the project you sent to me, I said, this nigga crazy. I said, this nigga crazy. So that's why I was like, we got to do it. I said, we got to do it. Because remember I told you I love my brother here.
Yeah.
We weren't here. I think we was at a studio in Maryland when I first talked to you. We was at a studio in Maryland, and I was like, bro, just play that shit in the speakers. And that shit was crazy.
Man, and then from there, you know, but I remember we was trying to set up the meeting. And
Yeah.
meeting for a while, bro.
Bro, it was a minute. Niggas was struggling to try to get that meeting in. So how the song doing? Overall, how's your project doing? And then how the song doing?
So for the song is like out of here. It's on pace to be my most streamed song ever. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, because you part of that, and I feel like that magic don't happen without the collaborative process.
Look, we on pace. We gonna beat it then. That's the goal. We gonna beat it.
You know, with the project, it's very different. So like the people that I know that hear it, you know, they like, yo, this is like nothing I've really ever heard. So to me, that's a compliment to the art that I wanted to capture. And then, like I say, it's doing good in like places that I never really had a market in the whole project. So more so than, for example, my top 3 is usually Virginia locations. You know what I mean? Whether that be Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
So this time around, I think Virginia Beach #1, LA is #2 for the most streams.
Yes, sir. And what song is that?
Well, I'm talking about as a whole, but the whole stream probably Rockabye Baby. You see that and Get Your Hand on My Pocket. They like competing. One day it's one, the next day it's the other. You feel me?
But that means you growing. You growing.
Sure, for sure.
Yes, sir. My guy Mike in here. How you living, bro? I seen the comments. My fault. I had to give a shout out.
Up to everybody.
My God, salam. But nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Just how the music come full circle, it's a blessing. Like, a lot of people don't understand the struggle that independent artists do. I see my girl Bree from the 7 Podcast in this thing. She understands. She'll tell you in a heartbeat. She understands how the independent struggle is. Just being a podcaster, she knows it's very similar to being an independent artist.
Yeah.
But I understand what it takes, bro. They don't understand the work that it takes when it comes to even having your shit competitive on a professional mix and master level. Niggas don't get it, bro. Like, no disrespect. We got a lot of talent in Virginia. But if we don't have the right engineers behind us, it won't compare. You can have some nigga who trash, but he signed to a major label and he got the tools around him. And I'm just being real. I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm just saying it's a couple trash niggas signed to some major labels, but they got the right production, they got the right engineers behind them. Sure. And it takes a level. So for an independent artist to be DIY, you know, they say do it yourself. For an independent artist, myself and myself, for you to be DIY and for you to do it yourself, put out this entire project. And like you said when you was talking previously to my guy, you were saying when you stopped working, you was able to fully zone in. To be an artist and put this shit together, people don't realize how much of an accomplishment that is. To say this shit is out in the world and it's out forever. As long as, you know, Distro Kid don't bullshit and take it down, it's out forever. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Out forever. And it's like, it's a milestone, bro.
No, I appreciate that, man.
It's, bro.
You know,
it's big. My fault. I know you said you had some questions. I ain't trying
Oh, you good, bro? You good? I just like to walk people. I'm walking them through the store. You know, when we first chopped it up,
Facts.
I was like, first of all, for you to even want to chop it up with me was like a dope thing. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to on the
I'm
same way,
Drake. I said you can't say that shit like I'm Drake, nigga. I'm around the way, nigga.
I like, you know, I never worked with you. I had never really had a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? We went to Norfolk State together, and hey, I probably never even seen you or just seen you in
Like,
past.
and it was
Work.
all over campus. Facts.
So for that all to come together, and then like-minded people. I don't really do a lot of collaborative stuff, but I try to get out my comfort zone. And when me and you talked, it was just like somebody that I knew respected the art.
Facts.
Puts that 10,000 hours in. You feel me? So I feel like we was able to easily our first conversation like connect and know that we was gonna be able to make something special.
Bro, 10,000 ain't even a word. Like I told you about it, bro. Like I'm talking, even hours I'm putting in now. Like when I text you yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And I talk about that because we on live, but I'll tell you personally about the legal battle I'm going through with the copyright. But it's just like I said, bro, being your own label, being your own everything, that shit is next level. But you know what? The independent market is growing. I don't know. Sony just bought half majority of DistroKid, and they just bought the majority of what is it called? It's the other company, AWOL distribution. And these are independent distributors for music who like niggas like me and you use, right? But the reason you see record labels actually buying these companies now is because they want the market share. Like last year, independent artists made over $1 billion. Straight independent artists altogether made over $1 billion. That's the first year some shit like that has ever happened. So the fact that market share is changing, now they got to come to us. All right, shooter, be safe out here. But it's like it's so amazing because like think about the work that you put in for this shit and the level that we say we're gonna take this shit to. If independent artists take the market share from the signed artists, no, of course we love the Drakes, we love the Rihannas, you know what I'm saying? They paved the way. But if we have the market share, that means the labels got to come to us. And now this is the first time in history we can set the terms with them. We can say I'm not signing the 360. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing no big ass advancement for y'all to own my masters and pay y'all, put y'all kids through college. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like when you look at, I ain't gonna talk you to death about it, but that's why I said it's so important. That's why I said it's so important. And the independent artist is way bigger than people think. Shout out to Danielle. I see you from the 7 podcast. Shout out to Danielle. She on this bitch. But shout out to my nigga Kevin here, bitch. But but the reason I say that is like, and Danielle understands. She's an independent podcaster. If you don't have these deals, you know what I'm saying? If you're not signed to any of these major distribution companies, it's hard. Yeah. But as one, when you put us all together, we own the market share. We are more than 50% of the market, which is important. So we can support each other. Like imagine if other artists, Kevin the Clown, imagine if other artists came in and we all started supporting each other. That could be way more than 51% of the market share. We can become the majority of the market. And that'll take shit to the next level. And that's why these independent projects are so important. That's why your project is so important. That's why me and Levi working on 2 Goes 2 is so important. That's why any independent Virginia artist, video production, podcaster like the 7 podcast, shout out to the 7 podcast, all independent groups, we are so important to each other because we can help each other grow and we can take over the market. And that's my goal. I'm coming for Universal, all the niggas.
On the independent landscape, I can't really go any further without, saluting you publicly for everybody to know, that your project did 1 million streams independently.
That shit. Hey, look, not 1 billion. I wish it did 1 million. What'd you say?
Hey, 1 million streams?
No, it was 1 million. It was 1 million.
Yeah, we shooting for 1 billion next.
Look, bro, I need it because people think that paycheck big. No, them streaming checks. Is streaming checks is small.
Very.
That shit paid the mortgage for a month. Next. Word, bro.
But how did that feel though? Just to, to do
that. Honestly, at first it felt surreal, but I guess because with the pandemic and all that, not too many artists have been on tour this year. Yeah. So it felt real, but honestly, I don't feel like I've seen it yet. I'm still a regular nigga. I'm still working. Now I'm spending a lot of time in the studio and working, but I haven't been out to perform many places to actually see it in person. You know what I'm saying?
Live, you know what I'm saying? How the people reacting to certain
Yeah.
songs.
I'm on the stage singing tools and you know what I'm saying, to see how niggas react to it. Cause I will say I'm grateful. I've had hella niggas on Instagram say, yo, Thief and Police was crazy, but Love You Better was my song. One of my niggas was wild. He was like, yeah, bro, I'm playing Love You Better on Valentine's Day. But it's just that I haven't been on stage to see it yet. Like right before the pandemic, right before the shutdown. Shout out to the 7 Podcast again. Shout out to Jada. I see you in the comments, Jada. Shout out to Jada. But niggas, we did a Black History Month event, and that was the biggest crowd we performed. Shout out to Levi and Miss St. Clair who set it up with the city of Hampton. That was a performance we did right before the pandemic last year, and we performed in front of maybe about 3,000 people, and it was just straight growth, straight music, Black history, biblical history, all types of stuff. But it was straight honesty, and it was a very vulnerable environment where we all could relate to each other because it was ultimately about the Black struggle. But that was my last performance, and that was before the album was released. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I haven't felt it yet, and that's the crazy part. I haven't felt it yet. How does it feel for you?
For what? How does what?
Like the album release, like does it feel legit, like, you know,
Oh, no.
like supposed to? You know what I'm saying? It's surreal. I don't feel it yet.
Cause see, for me, I don't know what the album release is supposed to feel like. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I made it to that point. Like it used to, you know, I do like little things with my friends where we would listen to the projects before they came out, or I would like literally pull up on the homies one by one, play it for them or whoever else. I didn't do that this time around, so it was like it dropped. And, you know, that night I spent, because, you know, I had that little thing going on with SoundCloud where SoundCloud had, like, finessed me after I literally uploaded the whole project, whatever. So by the time I finished that, sent the link out, type of stuff, it's like 1:30. So I'm like, man, I'm going to just listen to it. And from there, I just, you know, I try not to even check the stats, but I can't help it.
I know, bro. You got to release once a week. You got to check the stats. Now, I will say it's a lot of niggas that's way too infatuated with the numbers. Yeah. Because when real musicians, they do it for the love. Niggas like Big Crit, they're not worried about going platinum. Platinum is beautiful. We all want it. They do it for the love of the music. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing when you see niggas who do it for the love of the music, still go platinum, like Cold World. You know what I'm saying? Like my nigga Cole. But outside of that, I'll say it's a process for us. And I'll say, like, I don't want us to get so caught up on album release being our key to happiness. Right. I think instead of results oriented, this might sound backwards to most people, but when you're an independent artist, I think instead of being results oriented, you should be process oriented. You got to trust the process, and you have to enjoy the process more than anything else. Because if you focused on the results, you can't compare yourself to these niggas on Billboard 100. I was grateful enough to make the top. I made the top 500 independent artists in the country Billboard for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. But then I got off the Billboard after that 3 weeks. And it's like I can't compare myself to a lot of the niggas who we fuck with, like Baby and the niggas that stay in the top 100. Yeah. You extremely, my nigga Versace said exactly. You can be an extremely unhappy artist if you keep comparing yourself to that. And that's why I think we should be process oriented. Because no disrespect, I think all of us, bro. First off, shout out to Versace because that production was crazy. But I think we make better music than a lot of those guys. And that's why we got to process. We got to love the music. We got to love the process. And I don't use the word fans. I use the word supporters. We got to love our supporters because there's not many, you know what I'm saying? And they're the ones that the word of mouth, the legwork to get us out. I seen Jada said in the comments, hold up. Oh wow! I have never heard of that cryptocurrency for music. Have you heard of that?
No, that's something new for me. See, I got the joint in the background with me though.
Hey, Jada, DM me about that. DM me about that cryptocurrency for music, and next time.
Dope, though.
Yeah, I was about to say when we do your podcast, we can do some research on that. We can talk about that for your podcast,
sure.
If you don't mind.
Man, you know I'm here for it. Any type of knowledge. That's one thing I learned a whole lot of stuff just in the very few conversations that we have had, you know what I'm saying?
Facts, 100%, bro, 100%. But no, I'm not gonna hold you too long, bro, because I know you got other famous people like Versace to bring on. But, but I just want to tell y'all, bro. I've listened to your project probably 4 times all the way through by now, 4 or 5 times,
No, that's love.
and I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy, and the production is stupid. I'm talking about old school jazz. Me and my niggas right now, we working on a jazz album. I'm trying to do some
Yeah.
shit that nobody.
I seen you had like post something about a jazz album on your story. I'm like, oh, okay.
Bro, I'm trying to throw niggas off like all jazz. Not even no cursing. Let's want some shit you can play in a hotel while niggas checking in, just straight music. But I said all that to say y'all gave me a lot of jazz dubstep elements,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. And anything you got for me, bro, before you?
I want to kind of talk about the song a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
How can I forget? Talk about this.
Yeah, we got this is the hit right now. You know, this is the #1 song.
Sure, bro. That shit crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Man, so I remember before I had even like no, when I was talking to you, I knew I wanted to get you on the project for sure, but I had no clue like what song it was gonna be. So I think I was at my girl house when I recorded it, and that's like I said, literally I had. Is that the one where I say? No, it's not. That's thought of different. Okay, I did that in colors probably the same day because this is like after I quit the job. You feel me? So I'm kind of motivating myself into it. I think that song kind of captured where I was at in that exact moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
man, I did the verse. Now, first of all, I know like if I'm doing a feature, I'm not gonna send nobody nothing that. First of all, I'm not gonna write nothing that I think is mid. But I'm gonna go extra hard if I'm sending it to somebody, especially if it's somebody that I haven't worked with, so that way they know the vibe off
Fact.
rip. So man, one thing I will say is when I did send it to you, and man, I know you a busy guy, and I don't know how soon I got it back, but I know it was like ASAP, and I'm like, bro, this man
Word.
finished already. Like I thought he
Bro,
had to work.
I'm telling you, it was crazy. So I had got off work. I got off work at 7:30. My cousin was in Fredericksburg. He called me and was like, "We got a studio session in Fredericksburg for a rock band. I need you to engineer it."
I remember you was telling me about that.
Like, nigga, in Fredericksburg. So I drive to Fredericksburg. Meanwhile, I'm texting you because you sent me the shit. I drive to Fredericksburg, and I was like, I want to record it in my studio. I'm not familiar with this one, but I said, fuck it, I want to get this verse back to you. So we get to the studio in Fredericksburg early. I hear the song. I'm like, nigga, this shit is crazy. I get so excited. Them niggas, they take a lunch break. They take a 30-minute lunch break. They
That's
take
all
a
you
30
needed.
in their studio session in Fredericksburg. So when them niggas run the Wendy's, I write the verse, my nigga. 30 minutes. I write the verse. Practice it one time. They get back. 2 more hours. They finish that shit. It's like I don't know, because we talking about, because I finally got it to you like 2 in the morning. I don't know what it was. It was late at night.
It was quick.
It was they do their shit. We knocked that out. I'm like, bet. And I ain't mean to be dismissive, but you know what I'm saying? I'm engineering that shit. I'm like, nah, bro, it's not the way I'm trying to record. so we knocked their shit out. Engineer it, we mix it, we master it, we get it out the way. And then you sent me that. And then I just was like, yo, I have to record this tonight. And that's why I was asking you them questions. When I was like, when I was talking about the mix, when I was, how do you want me to mix it? And bro, I was just way too excited because the start you gave the record, bro, like I'm telling you, bro, like the voicemail, when you said this shit is bigger than just a song, the start you gave that record, I love shit, self-reflection, stuff that forces you to think, stuff that forces you to make yourself accountable, stuff that forces you to take yourself to the next level. You know what I'm saying? We talking about intellectual growth, and that's what rap was about when it first started. You know what I'm saying? So when you sent me that, bro, I probably stayed up all night. We got that thing done, mixed it, sent it back, and it been off to the races since then, bro.
True, bro. And that's one of the verses I had to play back a couple times to like fully catch. I'm like, bro, really saying like you can go over the top, man, and it's all honesty. I call it brain food. That's what the whole song is for real.
Whole song, bro, brain food, and the Soul Train just was so perfect when you sent me the title because it's one of those songs.
Versace came up with that because I was like, bro, I don't know what I'm gonna call this.
See, here go Versace with that shit again. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him, bro. Both of y'all are great together. RJ too. I don't know where RJ at right now, bro, but
He's probably making a beat. Straight up.
You, Versace, and RJ, bro. Y'all niggas like when OVO first started, when Drake and 40 and them was in the camp working on Take Care. Word, bro.
No, for sure, bro.
I'm trying to think, is there something else I had to say about that song before you go any further? I'm very grateful though. I will say I'm extremely grateful and I'm extremely humble that that song is #1 on your project right now. Because not only do I think, no disrespect to the rest of the songs because they was fire, but not only do I think we said a lot of important things in that song. I mean, everything from mental slavery to what you was talking about as far as the struggle of somebody coming out of college and how unrealistic that is and the expectations they put on us. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I think that's a very important song. I think it's a very vulnerable song.
It's needed right now.
It's needed. It's needed. It's needed. It's vulnerable too because it lets people know that as artists, I feel like people see artists as a different part of society. Like, no, nigga, we all the same.
Yeah.
And I think it takes us to the next level as far as people getting insight into our life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta put it all on Front Street.
You have to. You have to. And honestly, Instagram is fake anyway. Like if you look, I mean, now I'm very transparent on my story. If you look at my story, you'll definitely see my life. But if you just look at my page, you only see the highlights. You don't really see the ups and the downs, the struggles. That's why I said we got to be process oriented. Because like you'll see a lot of people DM me and be like, bro, you got 1 million streams. How that shit feel? And I'd be like, nigga, I'm still broke.
Yeah. How'd that feel?
I'm grateful. I'm beyond grateful. But that's why I said we got to stay process oriented. We have to stay process oriented. Because once you fall in love with that process, bro, like when I'm mixing a song, hearing the same part of a song 40 times in a row just to get the frequency right, that shit is annoying, but it's beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, you take that for granted, you know what I'm saying? You can easily take it for granted. But then you realize how much you love it when you're not doing it.
Bro, facts. Because, bro, when I'm not in the studio and I'm at work, or like, so, you know, I'm in the gym to mental health. So when I'm helping people with their nervous system, that's beautiful. I love that. But when I'm not working on music and health, bro, something is missing. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm in my element. And when I get into that studio, it's like locked and loaded. But that process is so beautiful, and we can't take it for granted. And we never can take for granted the people who take their time out from their favorite artists to listen to us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Those are true supporters.
For sure. And then we become their favorite artists, you know what I'm saying? Putting it all together.
Bro, I'm coming for all that. I already DM'd Drake and was like, Aubrey, I'm on your head top.
For sure, man. We could do it organic. And I wish my boy Caleb was in here, man. That's who did the voice in the middle. He's a motivational speaker. He was my RA freshman year, and he's been my brother ever since, you feel me?
A word.
For sure. And
yes, sir, bro. But that was beautiful. And it was wrong.
With that, it was like, I kept listening to the song because I'm OD when it comes to that. I'm like, yo, I got to put something in this middle right here. It was just 20 seconds. So I had texted him. I sent him the song. I'm like, man, I got this little 20-second window. I'm like, I don't know if there's anything, you would come up with. Man, probably the song, 4 minutes? So maybe by 5-6 minutes, 20-second video right there. He hired the Jonah and sent the video straight up. I'm like, yo, this is it. Don't send me nothing else because I ain't trying to compete with nothing. This is it. Straight up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, word. You got to be.
Just like that.
Yeah, and I will say, like we just talking about, that's another process. As an independent artist, it's so hard. And shout out to every independent artist from Virginia right now because we the GOATs. But it's so hard being your own judge and jury because sometimes you don't know if something is good or bad. Like, for example, it's hard to be in that middle, find that balance. At times, we're way too critical of ourselves.
Yeah.
And at times, we're way too leaning it towards ourselves. Like, for example, there was a verse I recorded for Thank You For Your Time. It was on No Games Played. And I was so married to that shit. I was like, yo, this shit is fire. Ain't nobody gonna tell me it's not fire. My sister heard it and she was like, you could have did better. Like for me, for me, I'm like, for real. But I needed that. Because as an artist, it's so easy to be married to your own shit. It's so easy to say, yo, this is the greatest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's important for us to have that inclusion and say, you know what? That decisiveness and say it's okay to go back to the drawing board and revisit this, but at the same time not be too hard on ourselves to always be going back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I think we got to find that balance, but that's part of the process. Be process oriented, bro.
Most definitely, man. And they got to keep running up. They got to get on the soul train. That's what it is, bro.
Absolutely, bro. That's the
You know,
move.
after that, we're going to thank them for their time. You know what I'm saying?
Thank them for their time when they getting off the soul train.
You feel me? But look, bro, what's next, man? What's coming next? That's what I'm asking you. Then I'm gonna get some other people on here because we can. I told off rip we could do this all day.
Oh, it's the soul train, bro. Get us off and get more people on, bro. I'll come back tonight if you're still alive. But, what I'll say next for me, it's a lot, bro. I got a list. So 2 Goes 2. Shout out to Levi Heron. 2 Goes 2 is coming out in May. 2 Goes 2 is probably
right around the corner.
Bro, we nowhere near done. Times is hard. 2 coming out in May. And it's gonna be way different from 2 Goes 1. Like, it was a lot of people who I appreciated 2 Goes 1 style because it was a lot of old school boom bap and it was real hard verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking like old school Nas type verses. And I want to stick to that. But 2 Goes 2, I want to experiment a little bit with the instruments.
Now the first one on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, the first one on SoundCloud. Everything from this point on gonna be on all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
Back in get samples clear like I wanted to.
Right.
So when I had the Alicia Keys sample, I reached out to Alicia Keys' manager. He responded, but they never cleared the sample. So I had to put it on SoundCloud. I couldn't put it on all platforms. But I mean, it's on SoundCloud right now. I got almost 100,000 plays. So
yes, sir. Everybody go run to that for sure. Before you hear that second one, we got to know where it come from, man. We got to know.
I'm telling you, before you hit 2 Goes 2, when we drop it in May, you got to go to my bio on Instagram, go to the joint, and listen to 2 Goes 1 so you get the context. Because I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Like I told you, a lot of people don't know this. My boy Levi, he had just got out of a heart transplant. We started. So the second track was called "If I Die" because bro, I mean, just to be vulnerable with everybody, bro was really feeling like that.
Man.
He had told me straight up, he was like, Dre, I need to have something for my family to remember me by in case something happened to me. And it sounds sad, but it's realistic. So me and Silky, my brother, we was like, bro, what can we do? Because his surgery is soon. So what can we do in 3 days to make people remember? And we said, we're going to do a 5-song EP in 3 days, bro. So that's where it came from. 2 Goes 3 days. That's where it came from. And transplant successful. He's healthy. Staying on top of his health. All that is working out. All praises to the Most High. For sure. So 2 Goes 2, we're going to keep it going. It's going to be a 2 Goes 3 next year. It's going to be a 2 Goes 4 after that. I'm going to go until niggas get tired of me. I'm going to be like Dedication with Wayne.
Yes, sir. You're taking the 100.
Word, bro. But that's it, bro. That's what's coming up next. 2 Goes 2, bro.
For sure, man. But listen, bro, I appreciate you. We're gonna do this again where we got time for when it's just a me and you episode, and of course we're gonna talk offline as well. I appreciate you for tapping in and the verse and everything, bro, for real.
Appreciate my brother. I'm gonna exit out with the Soul Train playing.
For sure. One love.
One love, man.